There's a way I know that you can put $100 in and get $1,000 back. Now, this isn't every single time, and it takes a little bit of work. It's not lazy money, but I've seen it happen over and over and over again. And you know me, I'm always trying to help you make more money because I think that money equals freedom, right? And options. And I think that is what's most important for us. So it's not about how many things we can buy. It's about how much of our time can we buy back? How many experiences can we have? And what sort of generational wealth can we build? And I have a tool that I want to show you, I want to share with you. If you are already familiar with this, then you know that it's right, that it's true. If you're not familiar with this particular tool, I'm going to show you today in this three-part series. This is the first of a three-part series. I'm going to show you today how you can use this to build something for yourself in a relatively short amount of time, learn about it, build it a little bit over time, evolve it, but kind of set yourself up where potentially you could be making money in order to bring on new customers, right? So what I mean by that is we all want more leads. We want more people we want to get in front of. And usually, especially through paid ads, we have to pay to have people come to us. But this is a way that you could actually have people signing up for your email list, signing up to be talked to, and perhaps have more follow on, and we'll talk about that in the second video of the series, and potentially have people pay you or have it paid to you that you actually get paid to have more leads. So I'll show you what I mean because I know it sounds a little confusing. What I'm talking about is a funnel, and you may have heard this word before, or it may sound funny to you, but either way, I'm going to make this video for the people who are not familiar with it or who used it in the past and maybe didn't know exactly how to use it well. Because I'm only going to show you things that I've actually done or that I know that are proven. And I've actually done this. This isn't like this scammy, weird thing that you might think of it when you have that word in your mind. This is actually something. I'm not saying you're going to make $1 million off of this, although some people have. I'm saying that this can help bring in a few extra $100 per week. And I was in an Uber earlier today, which I'm in a lot, and I was doing the math. I was looking up as we were driving and I was like, how much does the average Uber driver make? And what I was able to figure out is that they make between, and if they do this like several hours per week, somewhere between 20,000 and 50,000 per year. And that does not include taxes. It doesn't include gas or maintenance on the car or the car itself. And it's an honest living, and I'm not putting it down at all. But I'm saying, oh, I wonder if like Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, Door Dashers, all of the people that I wanted to be and tried to be years ago when it was starting, I wondered if they could replace their salary with what I'm about to tell you right now. So if you could replace, let's say you make 3,000 a month, you're working retail, or you make 4,000 or 5,000 a month. If you do that, you could actually replace your salary with this. So if that sounds interesting to you, let me know in the comments and we'll get started. So I use ClickFunnels. And again, I'm going to show you my actual stats. You can see them here on the screen. If you're listening, come back and look at the screen. The actual stats for my most recent funnel. I am a big fan of memberships, especially on the school platform, and I teach that in Arlan's All Access and my other programs. I'm a big fan of using YouTube for traffic and for other things. And ClickFunnels to me is one of these add-ons that actually help. And if you bear with me, I think this could help a lot of people. So if you're not interested in this, all good. I'll see you on the next video. I'll see you next week or whatever. But if you're interested in this, I want you to think through this a little bit. Okay. So what I'm showing you right now is the funnel from my latest book, my new book that came out, and I'll try to get this without breaking anything over here. My new book, Arlan's Revenue Playbook. I'm taking you behind the scenes of what I'm actually doing, okay? This is what I normally teach in my multi-thousand-dollar masterminds and inner circle. I'm telling you right now in this video. So this book is my third book. I love this book. It's super helpful. And if you have it, you know what I'm talking about. If you go to arlansrevenueplaybook.com, you're taken to a page that shows you the book, tells you a little bit about it, gives you some testimonials in some cases, and then it takes you through where you don't have to pay for the book itself, you pay for the shipping. In this case, it's $5 as of this filming. And then you check out, and I send you a book in a few days, and you can even get some other things. Now, what I want you to understand about this particular funnel is that I am not using this particular funnel to make a lot of money. That is not what it's for, at least when it comes to the original initial payments that people make. So you may, for instance, either have in the past or may do today, you may order my book from this funnel. And you'll see here I don't think the unique visitors is accurate, by the way, because I think the opt-ins couldn't be this high. So it's a little bit weird. So I don't know about these two stats, but look at the page views. These will not be your numbers necessarily. I have a lot of people that I'm sending there. But just kind of use your own numbers. Say the page views was 100, right? You got 100 people to go look at it over a certain amount of time. This is in the last 4 weeks since I launched. Now, opt-ins is the number of people who have given me their email address, whether or not they've ordered the book. Okay, so that's a really important number. Number of people in just a month, 3,600 people have given me their email addresses, and I thank you for that. Now the sales is $17,492. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a month for something online and, something kind of cool, right? We've had 1,160 orders so far in this, less than a month. Maybe it's been like 26 days, something like that. And that's amazing. More than 1,000 of these books are out to people, are going out either on their way or have reached people. And for the most part, it's paperback. Sometimes we're out of them. So when we're out of them, you get the option to get the ebook. You buy the ebook for less. But here's for your purposes, this is where things get interesting. I'm gonna show this to you. I'm gonna show you these stats. Okay. So this isn't all of the stats for this time period, but let's just say yesterday. I want you to look at this. This is interesting. Okay, so this is not a typical day. This is lower than a typical day because what I did was we did not have paperbacks available. And for the past, I don't know, 5 days, we haven't had paperbacks available. We'll try to get more in April. What I'm trying to do with this book, what I am accomplishing is with this book funnel is I don't have to spend money out of my pocket ultimately to send you a book. The books cost, a certain amount to print, costs a certain amount to ship, more to ship than to print. And you're paying $5 in shipping on the paperback versions of it. So ultimately, what I'm doing is making it so that the average of what somebody spends pays for the books. Now, this is interesting because this is actually for the ebook. That's $4 because we're out of the paperback at the time of this filming. So what happened, what is this, yesterday, is we had 8 orders on a Saturday. It's kind of slower on a Saturday. We had, they each paid, the $4. So that's 8 times 4 equals 32. But it's $176 in sales. And the average cart value, average purchase was $22. How did that happen? Well, if you look here, I had some bump sales that's different than the other bump sale that we have. Order bump, right? Order bumps. So when you go, if you can go to it right now and just see this, you don't even have to pay for anything. You just see it in action. Go to arlansrevenueplaybook.com. Type in your email address, click the next step. The next step you'll see, okay, $4 if it's for the ebook or $5 if it's for the paperback. And then you'll see free shipping if there's a shipping option. And then you'll see um, below that, if you want this extra stuff, you can add this to your checkout. So you, for $97, it give you 6 crazy bonuses that's worth a lot more than that. And it's all digitally sent to you. Or for $47, you get to join List Builder Pro, which is like my $500 worth, in my opinion and other people's opinion, of an entire membership for the lifetime that you get to learn how to build your email list. So one person picked that out of the 8, and one person picked 47 out of the 8. So you had a total of 176. And then when you average that from the 8 orders, boom, you have the $22. Does that click? Does that make sense? So when you think about the paperback, when you think about this, that I think, let's customize it to maybe last Friday where we would have had the paperback. Okay, let's look at that. Okay, so that was more, right? It's going to say, so 49 people ordered the paperback for free, paid shipping. They paid $5. But 4 people got this order bump and 3 people got this order bump. So it was a total of $774, 49 books that I need to send out, print and send out, and average cart value of $15.80. $15.80 will cover the printing and the shipping and the freight of all the things and the handling, because I have a 3PL of the books. So I get to send out 49 books. You paid $5, most likely for your book. You get an awesome book that's incredibly valuable, the contents of it. About 10%, 10% or so, 8% or so, got an exclusive bonus that's worth far more than what they paid. And it all averaged out to me being able to send that to you without me putting money out. So the reason I'm doing this is a couple of reasons. When you think about the paperback version, and please stay with me because this is so important. It's going to change some people's lives, okay? When you think about the paperback version, what do I also have? Well, I have 49 email addresses. I have 145 people, and this is just one day in this month, 145 people total who gave me their email addresses, 49 people who bought the book. So 145 people that I can send messages to over time and tell you more about my YouTube channel, tell you more about, maybe my in-person event, tell you more about my thoughts, my process, even the book itself. And some of those people are going to join Arlan's All Access. Some of those people are going to get the next thing. Some of them won't, but some of them will. So it's not about just what I made here. It's about this long tail, long term. What do I also have, which is even more powerful? I have 49 people in that day alone who have this book. And in this book, I teach you so much of what I've learned in the past year and beyond. And you get to know 22 people from Arlan's All Access. So you better believe in this past 26 days or so, there have been a lot of people who have signed up to Arlan's All Access because they read the contents of the book. Now, that's a trip on its own. Let's go back to yesterday, where I did not have the paperback version available because we are out of them for the next few days. 8 people purchased the eBook, and again, 1 and 1 for these order bumps. 27 people gave me their email addresses, and I'll be talking to them in a follow-up. In the next video, we have a 3-part series. I'll tell you exactly about that follow-up, and that's the most important part of it, really, when it comes to the funnel. But when you do something and you don't sell a physical object, a physical product, it's all digital. All of this would go in my pocket. Now, again, for my particular funnel, I'm sending it all into the books. But if I didn't have physical books and I just had the ebook, I could make this in a day. Is that starting to add up? Do the math on $176 times 7 days. That's $1,232. Now, if you divide $1,232 by, let's say you have a job that pays you 20, no, hold on. I'm going to do it the other way around. Let's say you have a job that pays you $20 an hour. You'd have to work 61 and a half hours to get the same amount that I got from having this page and building it once and sending traffic to it. And on the third day of this, I was going to say Friday because it's going to be Friday in real time, but you may see it later. The third video is going to tell you all about how to get traffic to this. Because you're like, Arlan, you already have a lot of people who follow you and they're going to go and they're going to click. Okay. You know by now, hopefully you know by now that I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do it where you are, where you're starting. So imagine you get something like $100 a day, $50 a day, 3,000 a month, 1,500 a month for building something once, sending traffic to it, and it working for you while you're sleeping. Now you might say, okay, well, what? And oh, by the way, I'm going to tell you some really important thing in a moment. I have a link in the description and the pinned comment that you can use. And if you don't see it in the description, definitely look in the pinned comment. You can use this link to learn and get something extremely valuable when it comes to this. And if you use this link, you get a bonus. I'll tell you about in a second. So stay tuned for that. You may be saying, well, what do I sell? If you already have something that you sell, this is going to help you just explode the growth of that, like just go crazy on it. If you don't, it's always that process of starting something. There are 3 main things you can sell. Now, there's 1,000 things you could sell, but I'm going to tell you 3 main to start getting your juices flowing. The first one is some type of lead magnet. We talked about lead magnets being this freebie or something really low ticket. So think about a checklist, think about a PDF, even a video that's like proprietary that you spend time on, a workshop, something like that, where it's a lead magnet that you may give away for free, but it's worth a ton of money. And let's say you sold it for $4, for $7, for something under $10, okay? And you sent people to it, and that's the main topic of the funnel. And it can be an ebook like I did. It can be so many different things, as long as it's valuable to your customers, something that it's worth, you feel proud to sell, that is going to be helpful. You put it in as the main attraction on your funnel. Then the key is to have 1 or 2 order bumps where you say, hey, for $17, you can get XYZ. For $37, you can get this. So you put the one that is more expensive at the top, the next one down as the first order bump, and then you put the lower one there. That's just a little bit of psychology that changes the dynamics of your payment. So you could do something for it. You wouldn't do anything more than $100 in this order bump, and you wouldn't do anything more than $10. And this is mainly for beginners. Like other people are going to have other things, but for beginners, something that costs less than $10 as your main. Then 2 order bumps. One of them is 37, one of them is 17, one of them is 47, one of them is 7. You could play around with the numbers. Things that end with 7 tend to work well for some reason. In this case, that's one thing. So what do you have that you could sell and that you could think of that? Well, I'm going to learn how to get the traffic and we're going to do all this. The second thing you could sell, and this is an or situation, is you could sell an actual live thing that's happening, a live event on virtual. So it could be this workshop, which I mentioned in the lead magnets, but this is kind of a little bit different. It could be a webinar. It could be a summit. It could be like a 3-day, we're going to get on for, 2 hours per day coming up, and you get access for $47. You could do a challenge, like a 5-day challenge. We talked about that in a previous video, what a 5-day challenge could look like as free. but you could charge $27 for it, or you could charge $9 for it, or $97 for it, right? Anything under 100. And you have to know your audience, you have to know the value, you have to know a lot of that. But this is bringing people in, you have them in the funnel, and it's not like a regular website where it is just like, oh, I have this, I'm going to go to the about page, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to learn this. It is just like a funnel. It is, you come here and you go to one, you have one purpose. And because you have these order bumps, some people, some percentage of the people, as long as the order bumps are like really irresistible and valuable, are going to get those. And then you're going to start seeing that your average cart value, again, we're not going to do physical for these two. Your average cart value is $5 or 10 or 12 or 20. And then your goal is going to be, what can I make in a month to start to offset what I make by working for other people? And your other goal is going to be, okay, that's really cool, but that's not where the real money is. The real money and the longevity and the time you get to spend with people is in that long tail. And again, on the second of 3 videos, I'll teach you all about that long tail part, which is so important. So start to think through. Now, the third is a physical product. It could be a beauty product. It could be your CPG, product. It could be a book. It could be a book. But just make sure it's good. Make sure that it's high quality and you're really proud of it. There's this guy, and you'll learn more about him if you do this. Take the link. He sold millions of dollars worth of flashlights. Now, I think you should do something that you find really interesting and that is like true to you. I don't think you should just be like a flea market. That's just my personal opinion. But there are so many options for it. Like, this isn't like drop shipping or, I don't know, all these different things that I see these young guys doing. That's not what this is. This is like, okay, I already have something that I do. Maybe you are a consultant. Maybe you are a medical professional. Maybe you are a therapist. I could go on and on. And this is one way to direct traffic to do what you would like it to do. You do not do this instead of the memberships that I tell you about. In fact, in your funnel, you could actually direct people to your membership. You could even sell your paid membership here. Your paid membership, or some portion of it, could be an order bump. Your paid membership could be the main attraction, right? Let's say, but you have to think about the pricing. So what I did for a little bit is I put a few months of my membership in for a certain amount. And there's not just order bumps, but there are order pages and different things you can do. But I would say keep it really simple to start out like this, because your first funnel may or may not work out. Your third funnel may or may not, your fifth. But if you keep doing it, you keep tweaking and figuring stuff out and studying the data, and you think long term and you spend a good amount of time on it, you could work it out. So what I promised you that I would tell you about what's next. Okay. So again, this is part of a 3-part series. You're going to learn so much that I, could have charged a lot of money for, but I just wanted to tell you right now how to do it. I'll also drop this in Arlan's All Access so you all can get right to it. You can apply everything that we're doing and just run with this. I can't wait to see what you do with it. What you're going to do is you're going to go to the pinned comment and you're going to click on that link. What that link is, I'm just really excited about it, but what that link is going to send you to is ClickFunnels, which I told you I use, is doing a special. Like if you go to ClickFunnels right now on your own, you got to pay either $97 a month or $297 a month. It's absolutely worth every penny of that, but I want to hook you up. I want to hook you up with something. So if you use my link, you get 90 days of ClickFunnels for free. 90 days. That's a crazy free trial. You also get full training from ClickFunnels, like full training that I've gone through. I'm actually looking at videos again because I love going through the training. I'm actually doing it again right now. So I just watched maybe 2 hours of it this weekend. You get free training, not just like, oh, here's like a tutorial. It's like full on filmed, like you have these two options if you want to do something a physical product or if you want to do something that's more about your ideas and IP. It's really cool. So you go through that. I think they do it for like 10 days, but it's on demand. They also give you live sessions, and then you get a bunch of these other bonuses that kind of get you all into their world. And I've been to their live events. I went to ClickFunnels, Funnel Hacking Live. I went there in 2023. I've been around ClickFunnels for about, I want to say like 4 years, maybe even 5. Wow, I think maybe even 2020. Yeah, we're coming up on 5 years. So I don't do a lot of funnels, but when I did this book funnel, I was like, man, I'm really here. So I've done funnels in the past. I've done them on different funnels. I've had people make them for me. So if you go to Arlan's Revenue Playbook, you'll see my funnel is not the prettiest funnel. It's not like really well done, but I did it myself, and I feel proud of that. And the technology, the software lets you just like figure it out on your own, like copy paste and drag and pull. Their customer service, let me just say this honestly, I am a paying customer of ClickFunnels. I pay $297 per month. I'm on the pro plan. I've been doing that for almost 5 years. Their customer service is absolutely amazing. You go in there, and again, you're going to be trained. You're going to get 90 days free trial. You can cancel the trial if you want, all of that. But when you have a question, you just write to them on the website, and during their business hours, they respond like a real person will respond to you if you ask them to. And they'll send you like a Loom video to help you figure stuff out. They'll get on a call with you. They'll email you. They'll do whatever. It's really impressive, and I'm very impressed by it. So that's what you're going to do. That is the big game plan, the big picture. And then in our the second video of the series, I'm going to teach you about how you take, okay, $17,000 that I made in the last month, which is amazing. Like we get stopped there, but it's a physical product. But how would you take that? Let's say you made $1,000 in the first month and you had 100 emails or 200 emails. That's awesome. What do you do with that? How do you turn that into something that's really sustainable, maybe even goes into high ticket, which is what I've done with mine? And how do you, like, what are the ins and outs of that? It's really, really cool. And our third video of the series, I'll teach you all about the traffic, getting traffic to the funnel, and then also how do you integrate all of this into if you have a membership or if you're using YouTube, which is like my main things that I teach you. It's really, really cool. I'm excited for you because I know that this will help a lot of people. And it's funny, you'll start to see it. If you weren't before, the people that you follow that you may have purchased a course from or a summit from or a webinar, they're using a funnel. It may not be ClickFunnels, but they're using a funnel. And now you'll start to see it everywhere you go. And it's just like the way that I describe it and the way a lot of people describe this is, let's say, first of all, you're just going straight to a video that is just, you're sorry, going straight to a page that's not distracting. It's just about one thing and it just takes you there. So that's the psychology. But those order bumps are like the thing that changes everything. Because when you go to a restaurant or you go to fast food or you go to the movie theater, they say, or you go to the grocery store and they say, hey, okay, when you're at the grocery store, you get all this stuff. And then you see like all the candy and all the stuff that's right there at the checkout. And you just like throw a couple things into the basket. It's because it's right there. They do that on purpose. And they make a lot of money from that thing at the end because you're like, oh, impulse buy. So for you, you're bringing people for one thing, but you're also giving them a chance to like upgrade with you, upgrade your order. Supersize, upgrade your order, get more. I do it all the time. I purchase so many courses and so many tools and webinars, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much I've spent on it, but it helps me. So that's what you're going to provide for your customer. Yeah. So it's a two-way street. And let me know in the comments if this has been helpful to you. Make sure that you subscribe if you have not subscribed yet, so that you can absolutely get notified when these next two videos come out really, really soon. And actually, they may already be out depending on when you see this. And if they are out, you'll be directed to something that will help you right here in this video box. See you soon.